Greetings, August 11th, 2015. I'm just taking a quick break from grout cleaning on the current mosaic drawing work in progress. This is the 63rd work of the Under the Wings series and the 7th mosaic drawing combo of the series depicting Père Jacques, the French priest, school head, and righteous person murdered by Nazi soldiers and officers at the Mauthausen concentration death camp in Austria. So I have here an original copy of the Argus, student newspaper at Illinois Wesleyan University in Bloomington, Illinois, issue volume 112, issue 22, published April 14th, 2006. And there was a very, very nice article authored by a student staff writer named Emily Ornat, who I'm pleased to see. I looked her up on the internet. She's gainfully employed now. Always good to hear about college students who get work after graduating. And this is a photo of the drawing that they reproduced in the article, which has several short paragraphs after. I'm going to read it momentarily. Excuse the overhead light here. This is the poster published by the university, Tolerance Through Art, Akiva Kenny Segan, and so on. There's a photo of one of the drawings from the series that was exhibited, a photograph of me with a cockatiel in my former, where I used to live in the Seattle's Pike Place Market. So onto the article. Illinois Wesleyan University recently held its first Holocaust Remembrance Week and featured cultural events in memory of the historic tragedy. Sonja Fritzche, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, I hope, assistant professor of German and East European Studies, organized the event and said that the week was recognized as Holocaust Remembrance Week because it worked well with guest artist lecturers Akiva Segan's presentation and the Jewish holiday of Passover beginning at sundown on Wednesday, April 12th. Additionally, quote, it's tied together to the international studies theme of individuals making a difference, Dr. Fritzche said. The first event of the week was the screening of Naked Among Wolves, which was shown on Sunday in Beckmann Auditorium. The movie was part of the international film series. Fritzche chose the film because it took place in a concentration camp, and it was the first German movie to focus on the horrific conditions inside concentration camps during World War II. An artist hailing from Seattle, Washington, Segan was chosen to display his art exhibit and host a guest lecture because, quote, he's making a difference. I want to encourage other students that no matter how small, they too can make a difference, Fritzche said. His art exhibit, 12 selections, it was actually 22, from his Holocaust series, Under the Wings of God, and I'm going to interject here, the name has since been shortened to Under the Wings. Back then it was called Under the Wings of God. And his art series on contemporary victims of hate, war, and genocide, Sightseeing with Dignity, are featured on the first floor of the Ames Library from April 10th through May 26th. His first series, started in 1991, depicts Jewish and non-Jewish Holocaust victims, persons of anti-Nazi resistance, and other individuals who helped save Jews at that time. Segan's first artistic response to the Holocaust was in graduate school. He traveled to Poland in 1985, visiting Auschwitz and other death camps. Quote, Poland so impacted me, end quote, he said. Changing his thinking and direction in his art, Segan began a drawing within months of his visit. The massacre of 1.7 million people in the Khmer Rouge in Cambodia sparked an artistic response for a second series of Sightseeing with Dignity. Speaking about more contemporary issues like Vietnam and the Iraqi War, Segan said, quote, I don't believe one can teach the Holocaust in schools without relating it to contemporary events and issues. Schools are too politically sensitive, end of quote. Segan's art exhibit is the first to be displayed, hang on a moment here, folks, in the Ames Library. The artist also spoke to classes of Soviet history, Yiddish culture, and German on Monday through Wednesday. On Tuesday, April 11th, in Beckmann Auditorium, Segan also hosted a guest lecture, Background and Influences to the Under the Wings of God, Holocaust Art, and Sightseeing with Dignity Art Series. The lecture was followed by a public reception. Segan showed pictures of his surviving and deceased family members and of the Holocaust, propaganda portraying ugly stereotypes of Jews used by Hitler for identifying them, photos of Jewish people in ghettos and concentration camps, and selections from his art pieces influenced by the photos. An attendee of the lecture, Michel Bourgeois, was interested by the specific choice of the use of wings in many of his art selections. Quote, I found the images of ghettos and ghettos and concentration camps, end of bracket, to be upsetting. But at the same time, his artwork almost provided comfort with his addition of wings behind each person. To me, the wings connote comfort and security amidst the pain, because through his portraits they could almost fly away from their oppression, end of quote, Bourgeois said. Segan's visit was sponsored by International Studies, Russian and East European Studies Team, German Studies, Illinois Wesleyan University Hillel, and the Illinois Wesleyan University Student Senate. And on that note, I'd like to express my thanks to the editors of Argus and Emily Ornat, and to Dr. Sonja Fritzche and other staff of the Foreign Language Department and the staff of Ames Library at the time, and all the instructors. There were relevant presentations in other departments as well. I remember going to art classes and so on, for which I extend my thanks. They did a super job with the installation and organizing all the, getting overhead light here, all the presentations.